Hey everybody, it's Corey from I Broke What Garage. Been a rare I've got to spend maybe a couple hours in the shop today because this is like my real busy season where I've basically been working 7 days a week for the past month and a half. I got a little stuff done and I still got a lot of stuff to do. So I'm trying to throw a video together so people don't think I'm dead or vanished. So I'm gonna try to get something cobbled together for you here. Okay, before we get to videos of me working on the truck, I wanted to share some videos and pictures I took at First Friday and Gaston on Broad Street earlier this month. So I'm gonna throw that video and some stills in of some really nice C10s they had up there. So hope you enjoy that.
Miss Lori over here, she's got a story. She was killed in a motorcycle wreck, laid down on the side road, 20 minutes dead.
I look pretty good for a dead girl.
That just shows you power God. So she has a hey, got Mr. Tyler Evans on here.
I tell you what, I'm feeling somewhat accomplished today. This is the first time I've touched this truck in months because this is my busy season. I'm like the old In Living Color skit, the Headleys. I got 15 jobs, man. I am working pretty much 7 days a week. So I got my radiator installed back in. I had to put new upper and lower. See if you can see them down there. Yeah, I had to put new mounts up there and lower because they were crap. I've got to get back on this wiring. That's the biggest issue, is to finish this wiring. It's driving me nuts. But hey, any progress is good progress. Okay, I'm also torn about something else I've got. I got one of these front roll pans that eliminates the bumper, but I'm kind of torn because I also got the lower air dam off the whole square body, and I want to modify and mount to the front bumper that's on there, and then I was going to drill holes in that front bumper. I'm not worried about that bumper because the bumper's actually bent, so it's good to experiment with it. I was going to countersink and mount these in the front bumper. So throw down in the comments, see what what you think might look better, the roll pan or the bumper with the square body air dam and the fog lights countersunk into the bumper. Also, I happened to pick this up the other day, and I wanted one of those old valve covers with the script on it for the 250. And I'm so stoked to get that sandblasted and a couple of other things sandblasted pretty soon. To get that, I'm gonna paint it black, and then I'm gonna highlight the script in silver. I think it'll look really good with what I'm planning on doing. Oh yeah, I also picked up another driver's door, so now I have two spare driver's doors. This one's in a whole lot better shape than the one that's actually on the truck and the other one I got hiding over there. But yeah, I like this mirror. I need to see if I can find a matching, because the sport mirrors I got on mine, you really can't see out of them from the inside. Man, I need to get this thing finished. Now, I don't know how a lot of y'all are when it comes to working, if you like it completely silent or some background noise, but I can't stand when some places it's so quiet. It's just unnerving sometimes. So I always pick one of my favorite movies. And Jaws is one of my favorite movies of all time. I can watch this movie anytime. I probably watched it about 1,000 times, honestly. I can quote the lines in this movie word for word. I'll put something on even when I'm across the room. That way there's just some noise going on. And it's something, I've seen it so many times that won't distract me. I can just sit here and work away while I'm watching something. Does anybody else do something like that? So what are we working on today? I told you this bumper wasn't in the best shape, so I wasn't too worried about doing any kind of cutting or anything on it. So I'm out here modifying this front bumper to fit this air dam off of a square body on it. So that, and I'm going to figure out where I'm going to put the fog light holes at, because I think I'm just going to maybe weld in some tabs to where I can just mount the lights to the bumper. But yeah, this is what's going on today. Plus I'm going to go in here and work on some wiring too. I'm going to be jumping all over everything out here, on and off stuff. So let's get to work. Well, here's where I've gotten so far. Got the holes drilled out for the fog lights. Let me see if I can find some different fog lights. But this is what I got for right now. So now I just got to figure out about welding a tab on the back to mount these two and see how it goes from there. I'm fixing to show you why I said I wasn't really too worried about this bumper. If you notice, yeah, that's quite a big dent crease in it. I don't know what happened. This is not a factory bumper anyway. This is a repop one. You see it's nice and straight over here, and then you get to this side and whack. Maybe I can smack it with a hammer or something, see if I can. Might help us actually showing it to you. Maybe I can hit it with a hammer and maybe straighten some of that out. We'll see. That is by no means perfect, but it's sure a lot better than it was before. Nothing good hammer and dolly couldn't take care of. But like I said, this is better than it was, and like I said, this is cheap popped off bumper, which is not painted or anything very well at all, but I'll take care of that. Now let's get back to work. Well, I'm trying to do test fits before I start welding things in. And I mean, it's gonna, like I said, I wanted it flush, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to, with the brackets I got, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it flush, but I'm gonna keep trying before I do any tack welding. But I actually like the way it's gonna look different than any other C10 bumper you've seen. So I would set up camera out here, but I still haven't figured out how to use my other camera yet, because I haven't had time to deal with it. So I'm just still having to shoot stuff with my phone. So hopefully I can get some time to figure out how to use that other camera, and I can actually set up a tripod and do some other stuff. I mean, I can do that with a phone, but I'd rather do it with the other phone and keep my phone handy. I mean, do it with the other camera and then keep my phone handy in case somebody calls or something. All right, so got the mounts welded. I'm not going to show you my welds because Stevie Wonder said they looked horrible. I'm out of argon, so I'm having to use flux core, so they look ugly, but they serve a purpose. And these are pretty sturdy. They're not going anywhere. So now I just got to get back on getting the air dam on. So I'm pretty satisfied with how it turned out. Let's see if we can. I mean, boy. And I was glad I was able to get that bumper straightened out. So I actually got fitment on point and everything with this thing today. So I actually feel quite accomplished. So I may end up selling this thing. Yeah, I like the way that turn it a little bit this way. Yeah, I like the way that looks. So I'm trying to get some of this cab wiring done today. So I can focus on the other stuff later. But I'm going to try to get everything in here hopefully done today. And then we can go from there. And what's fun, I just remembered that my wiring diagram is on my phone. So I'm going to have to turn this off just to look at my wiring diagram. Be back in a minute. Alright, now we're getting back into some wiring. I've got to get this thing wired up. So, man, this is what I said when I take notes. And then I finally printed off stuff from my fuse block and all that stuff because it was only on my phone. And it was kind of hard to film with stuff on my phone when I'm trying to film with my phone. So, but yeah, we're gonna get some wiring done. I wished I could just set up this and let you watch me do it, but my phone keeps blowing up right today, so let's get some wiring done. Okay, so here's where we're at so far with mock-up on the engine wiring harness. Yes, I am gonna leave it. I'm just mocking it up right now where it goes. But I think it's kind of turned out pretty good so far. And I just got to get the rest of it, the front end and everything plugged into the mil-spec connector out here, and then I can finish up in the cab, and it should be done hopefully soon. While the grill's still out, I'm doing some experimenting, trying to polish it up some. You can see where I've been experimenting down here on the bottom part. I know it's not going to be perfect, but anything's going to be better than that super bad oxidation out there. Hitting it up with the WD-40 and let's see. First I started with 800 grit, and then I'm on 1500 grit. I may have to actually go down to something before the 800 because this stuff's pretty. Oxidation's pretty deep into it. So, but interesting. I'm kind of on the fence if I want to paint the eggshell black or just maybe just the inside of it black. I don't know. Any suggestions? Because I know I'm going to repaint. I painted the headlight buckets because they were real bad, so I just painted them. So I am going to tape off and paint this back in like it's supposed to be. So any suggestions on what you'd think you'd want to do with this eggshell part of the grill, just leave them in the comments. Let me know. Well, if you made it this far, I want to thank you for watching, and please, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, tell your friends, and hopefully I'll be able to get some more stuff on here soon. especially with getting the wiring finished. I need to get under the hood finished first, and then focus on the cab, and then everything should be done. And then the fun comes where we got to do the 5-speed swap, finish the hydraulic throwout bearing setup. I'll have to get the drive shaft cut down, since the T5 is longer than the SM465, and then hopefully I'll be able to drive it some. So, like I said, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.